supposed to be going live. All right, hi everyone. This is Christine Thompson with Baird & Warner in Naperville, and this is my weekly show that I'm presenting the same type of information as I did last week. It's going to be every Tuesday, 12:15 p.m. And this week I have a special guest with me, Christi Kavooras. She's with Christi Kavooras. Sorry, I'm not new at this, so bear with me. Christi is with Key Mortgage Services. That's an affiliated business with my brokerage, Baird & Warner, and I thought it would be great to get some insight from a lender. But I want to first go through the data that I've been doing weekly, and so that way, in order for me to be able to see you guys chiming in and making any comments, I wanted to do the screen share. But when I did the screen share last week, I couldn't see anyone typing in chats. So this is why I'm going to be holding up my little iPad. And I don't even know if this will work, if it's backwards. So I'm going to be doing that so you can see my stats. So just bear with me. I'm working out on technical ways to be able to screen share and still be able to see all of your comments, okay? So you might want to listen more than depend on looking at my iPad I'm going to be holding up, because screen to screen is probably not that great. Okay, so there we go.
It's going to sound louder, it's okay.
Okay, so there's sound going.
If you can hear us, please give us a thumbs up in the chat.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Oh, no sound. So,
and then it says now there is. So.
Okay, there is sound. Okay, thank you, Patricia. All right, so the first, this is going to be a graph that I showed last week, and the green represents new listings coming on, that came on the market in the last 7 days, 80. All right, this wasn't last week, it was the week prior, and there 54 homes went under contract and 32 closed. And you can see only one expired, which is fantastic. 37 had price changes, so that means sellers are getting very serious about wanting to sell their home. So buyers pay attention. All right, so that was the week prior, but now this is just the last 7 days. We can see 84 more homes came on the market. Wow. And 54 more homes went under contract and 30 closed. So the closed, I'll point out, buyers are getting their lending, they're closing. Buyers are out shopping. There's 54 under contract. So sellers, yes, buyers are going out there and looking at homes, and we are finding safe ways to get buyers into homes so they can make offers on homes for sale. So there are ways to work under the current situations to get your house sold. All right, so that's looking at inventory. And then I like to also talk about what's the average time it's taking for homes to be on the market. So this is what I showed last week. Hello. All right, so that's what I showed last week. I'm trying to get to the camera in the right position there. So for homes that were active homes, 2 weeks ago, the average was 75 days, and homes under contract, 85 days. So that was a little bit longer for homes under contract to be on the market, and the homes active on the market, it's shorter than 85 days. So that's great, okay? And we saw that 90 days was the average market time for the homes that sold. And those sold homes are probably going to be an overlap of homes that were on the market prior to COVID and during, all right? So it's a little bit of an overlap there. So that was 2 weeks ago. And then I'm going to try and get my iPad to behave. It keeps flipping around on me. All right, so then this is just the last 7 days that I pulled up, and we got a little glare there. So the homes that are active on the market, it's up to 82 days, and closed average market time was 75. So the time on the market is creeping up a little bit, sellers, and under contract 87 days. So that kind of creeped up a little bit, but not much. So I'd say it's pretty close to, what we're experiencing from the week prior. This is I always find interesting, and I only have to show this one slide because we can see it's week by week. The prior week was just over one showing per listing, and that was leaning towards a soft seller market, but then it dropped down to 0.853 showings per listing. But keep in mind that was Mother's Day weekend. We had rain on Sunday, so I would probably consider that pretty good. going for last weekend. So this is where Christy's going to jump in. I have the date wrong. There was actually the week of May 4th. But these were the rates that I showed last week. They were at 3.52 for a 30-year fixed, and you can see the other numbers there. And keep in mind, I'm going to post this afterwards so you can watch it again. And you can take a slower look at these rates. And then I pulled this up yesterday, May 11th. You can see what the rates were then. And so 3.51, pretty static. Rates are pretty static. But Christy, this is where I want you to kind of jump in.
Sure, Christy.
And talk about what's going on for rates. Use a hypothetical situation for a price point purchase, because it's all over the place. It's going to be different for any price point you're shopping, but she's going to just give you a hypothetical and then maybe talk a little bit about getting to closing.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody's interest rate is going to be a little bit different based on their credit score, the purchase price, the loan amount, the amount that they're putting down, if it's a house, a condo, a home that they're living in, a vacation home, etc.
A lot.
So exactly, there's a lot of different factors. So if somebody today were purchasing a home around $600,000 with 20% down with a mortgage of $480,000, they could expect a rate in the 3.375 range. They could actually pay a little bit to buy that down to 3.25, or they could go up to 3.5 and get a credit back from me to cover some of their additional fees. So we have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, those rates sound good. It sounds better than what I'm pulling up online for the average from just a general source.
Yeah, and one thing I want to add is you don't have to do 20% down. A lot of the bigger banks right now, they're fearful of people going into forbearance and not making the payments on the loans that they service. So they're increasing their minimum credit scores and their down payments. But we're still able to do 1% down IDA loans,
wow,
3% down conventional loans,
wow,
3.5% down FHA, no money down VA. So we have all different kinds of tools that we can offer that the big banks really just can't do right now.
Wow, did you guys hear that? If you can do a VA loan, 0 down.
And no mortgage insurance.
Oh my God.
It's really the best loan out there.
Wow, that's
and
fantastic.
Really what we should be doing for our veterans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's very promising. And how about, just processing the loan? Because people worry about lower staff and things can't be done. There's not people around, and can we close in time? And what's going to happen to the rates if we didn't lock it? All that good stuff.
Yeah, I had a buyer that went under contract about 3 weeks ago, and we got her clear to close yesterday, and she's not closing for 2 more weeks. So
wow.
We really have plenty of time. I would say when someone says, how quickly can I close? I usually tell them about 30 days, but if it needs to happen sooner, we can make it happen sooner.
So Christy, what would they have to give you up front when they start shopping for a home to be able to say, okay, I've got it under contract, I want to close in 3 weeks? What kind of preparation do you think they should be doing before they even go out shopping for the home?
Well, you definitely want a strong pre-approval, and even anybody that I pre-approved a month ago, I'd like to take another look at, because things may have changed in the market since we had that first conversation back in March or April. So I always want to take another look before they go to the extent of putting an offer in, because nobody wants to waste time.
Right.
So we want to make sure that the loan can still be done. So I like to see pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements. Depends on the customer. If they own a business, it's going to involve tax returns. But most people have just a straight up W-2 job. If it's a single borrower or a couple that are borrowing, there may be more or less documentation.
Okay.
It could be as simple as a pay stub and a W-2.
Okay. And they can just do, everyone's concerned about leaving their home, staying safe and all of that. So how can they get, start that pre-approval with you without leaving their home?
Yeah, what's so great is we use this technology that is all electronic and online. So I will set up a loan hub, and I will invite them to activate their loan hub.
And what about security? People worry about, I don't want to start putting my social security number or uploading private documents.
Well, this is all password protected, and it's secure. And what's nice is everything lives in one place and is date and time stamped. Okay. So I never have to ask you for something that you've already provided. It's there. Cool. You can see it, I can see it, and the processor can see it.
Okay.
You can import your pay stubs directly from your payroll provider. You can import your bank statements directly from your bank.
Wow.
So it's very fast.
Okay, so they don't have to start saving all these PDF files and then uploading PDF files.
Right, and what's nice is if you've given me your 60-day bank transaction, and then you've gone under contract and written another check for your earnest money deposit, you can now just refresh that after that check clears the bank instead of waiting
nice.
another month till the next bank statement comes
Okay.
out.
That's one thing sometimes that come up is, do a cashier's check because you're going to be closing very quickly. Does that still hold true?
It doesn't need to be a cashier's check as long as it clears the bank.
Okay. All right. And what do you see typically banks are clearing earnest money checks, once it's put into escrow with the brokerage?
Depends on how long the attorney or the listing agent holds the check until there's the attorney inspection issues.
Well, I think the law is now that it has to be put into escrow with the brokerage when it's submitted in 48 hours.
Good. Yeah. So then that shouldn't be
Yeah,
any delays.
that's independent of the inspection.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Christy. I appreciate your time.
My
You
pleasure.
guys, anybody watching, I know maybe you're being shy, but if questions come to mind even after this, just DM me and we'll put in Christy's information too when we upload this video later, so you know how to contact Christy directly too, because she's the lender. She'll have the best answers, but I'm happy to relay questions for you. Thanks, you, Christy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so everyone, I think that's probably, I actually had a few more slides. Christy, you might want to stick around for this.
Sure.
I wanted to point out, everyone's worrying about with the economy, what's happening, and people, losing jobs. So I wanted to touch a little bit on that. So this is a great graph I have, the percentage of homeowners that have equity in their home, because a lot of people are, soured from that whole 2006, 2008 Great Recession, and where everyone was doing short sales and getting foreclosed on their home. But back then, the home equity, the amount of homeowners that had good home equity was super low. This is what we're looking at now. So it's very strong as far as average, what the percentage of homeowner equity is in 2020. A large portion of the homeowners have 42% equity in their home. They are far from being underwater. Even if we do see prices dropping a little bit, they're okay and they can still afford to sell their home, not as a distressed sale. They won't be going out there doing a short sale if they find themselves in a situation that they have to move. So that gives me confidence that the housing market values should not get greatly affected. Here's just one more stat. 58.7% of all homes in America have at least 60% equity in their house. That's huge. So 42% of all homes are owned free and clear. That means paid full in cash. And the average equity of a mortgaged home is $177,000. That's a solid housing market, you guys. These are not owners that are underwater. Oh, I'm going to just walk away from my house. They don't want to walk away from money in their house. So you're not going to see this huge flood of distressed properties hitting the market. Here's just looking at labor. Okay, this is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor, their statistics, and you can see week by week where the unemployment was. So the week of March 28th hit a point of 6.9, but then it dropped to 3.3 million. I know we're high in numbers, you guys. They're talking about as much as the Great Depression, but we're starting to see. Look at that huge drop from 6.9 to 3.3 in unemployment filings. So I think more people are getting back to work based on that number. I'd like to sure hope so. Then the U.S. Bureau provided this breakdown of labor of where the unemployment is, and you can see the hugest category is let me see here, servers and bartenders. And what the industry experts say, servers and bartenders, they were never in a position where they were having an income to buy a home. So we worry about, people are losing jobs and they're not going to be able to go out and buy homes. The majority of the unemployment are people that never had an income to be able to buy a home. They never had plans to buy a home. So this is not changing the plans of buyers, this unemployment. It's very few. It's more of a mindset, you guys. You're all sitting out there going, I'm not sure what's going to happen with my job, so I don't want to go out looking for it. But the reality is, majority of people, they can still afford to go out and buy a house. So if the market is going to start going down, it's the mentality of people and not being informed. And this is why I'm doing this show, because I think if everyone is aware of what's happening out there, and Homes are still selling. Buyers are still going out there. The unemployment is affecting only people that never could buy a home. I think more people will start getting a better understanding of the market's fine. I'm comfortable buying. Okay. And if more people had that attitude, the market won't be affected at all. So it's just like the stock market. It's a total reaction. It's an emotional reaction, and people just do something without being informed, and that's what affects the market. So don't be one of those people that contribute to a negative market. Here's just the breakdown of labor statistics. It's showing how many unemployed and unemployed. So 85.3 are employed. And of that, how much and of the 14.7 that's unemployed, 90% of that is temporary. Okay, these are people that are going to be like out of a job forever. It's temporary. 90% is temporary only. They're going to be back in their jobs. So really think about all that, you guys. Okay, I hope this information is helpful to you, so that way you can be more informed. And I'm pulling all of this data from very reliable sources. This is not numbers I'm making up. I pay to join these services to find very good statistics, because I don't have the time to be searching and scraping hundreds and hundreds of sources. So these sources that I go to, they're spending their days and nights finding all this information and making it available. And I'm going to relay it out to you guys weekly. So again, watch Tuesdays, 12:15. Live at Christine Thompson Realtor. As you know, you got to this page, and I'm going to be uploading it and saving it on YouTube so you can watch at your leisure at any point. We'll have captions in there, so if you're in a place where you can't hear it, you can read it. And again, Christi Kavooras, thank you for coming. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure, Christine.
And I'll try to have a guest speaker every week if possible, and I'll try to get the technology worked out better so I can screen share and you can still chime in your questions, okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. You guys all stay safe out there. Take care.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Here we go.
There was one